We're hearing that there's air raid sirens at the U.S. Embassy compound in the International Green Zone in Baghdad. Apparently, they were just warning sirens. We'll have to wait and see. We have some confirmed targets right now. Confirmed targets. We have the Abbas Airport, the Taiz Airport, the Hodeidah Airport. We have some base in Sadah. So lots of strikes, guys. Lots of strikes. Let me see. Canada, Bahrain, the Netherlands, and Australia provided support, but didn't actually. They weren't actually, involved in the operation from an assault standpoint. They were just supporting. We have some reports coming in that there's still airplanes flying around Western Yemen. Locals are reporting airplanes are still flying over Western Yemen. So there were some earlier reports that the strike was over. It doesn't look like that's the case, guys. Okay, there's a lot of fake news out there. You really have to be aware. Wow, looks like they demonetized this one already. Wow, I wonder if it's the title. Looks like they demonetized this one already. Unbelievable. Wow. Absolutely insane. Wow, that's crazy. They demonetized it already, huh? I don't know if I'm going to be able to stream all night if I can't make anything at all. That's very taxing to do for free. So let's see here. Okay, yeah, it looks like it was the title, guys. I just changed the title. Seems to be okay. I think because I had strike in there. The title said strike. So I changed it to operation, and now it seems to be okay. So I think it's that key word that I had in there, strike. Seems to be good now. So thank God. Could be Gene W. Yeah, that could be. Yep. I think it was just strike. Because as soon as I changed strike to operation, it's now okay. So, interesting. Yeah, I've had that happen before. Like when I've titled a video and there was like one word that I had in the video and it would demonetize it based on that word. And then if I just changed the word, it was fine, So thank you guys for all your support. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best. We're all a big community here. We're all going through this together. This craziness in the world, we're all going through it together. So we have to support each other. We have to be nice to each other. We have to show love to our neighbors, because things are going to get worse and worse in the world. So just be nice to people, We got the elections coming up this year, so that's going to be another thing that's going to create problems. We got the elections. I mean, it's just absolutely insane. There's so much stuff going on. Let me see here. I'm just checking some more sources. We're hearing that a number of airstrikes struck the Hajjah Governorate. Hajjah Governorate was hit. The Hajjah Governorate. I don't know where that is. It's spelled Hajjah. Hajjah Governorate was hit apparently. On the screen here, for those of you guys just tuning in again, we have the official statement from Biden. And the key thing here is at the bottom. He said, "I will not hesitate to direct further measures to protect our people and the free flow of international commerce as necessary." So Juker Pro, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Sorry for getting demonetized. Hopefully we can all help make up for it. Thanks for everything you do. Thank you, Juker Pro. That's very kind of you. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. And SOW, thank you for the super chat. Your updates aggressively fuel my anxiety, but I thank you for the updates, brother. Hope your buddy gets his car fixed. Yeah, my buddy was very thankful for all the donations. Oleg, Oregon Preparedness, I set up a GoFundMe. His truck broke down, and he's a trucker. And, to fix a truck costs a lot of money, and he's very tight for money. And, big rigs are very expensive. He's an owner operator, so he owns his rig. And he got into a little fender bender, and even a little fender bender can cost thousands of dollars to fix. And if money's tight, then you're not going to be able to work, because that's your livelihood. Your truck is how you make money. And so he had a bunch of bills that piled up, and he was behind on them. And so you guys really pulled through and helped him out in one of the hardest times in his life. He's got a wife and kids, so it was just incredible, the support that came out in such a short period of time. I had that GoFundMe up for just I don't know how long. It was like 2 days. Within a day, I mean, there was so many donations that poured in. It was just incredible. So you guys are awesome. Eric Ibu Elliott, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well. And Annie Nielsen, thank you so much for the donation. Don White, thank you so much for that donation. I really appreciate it. And Bradley Moore, I appreciate all your info and all your support. Thank you very much. Hey, Sir Greg, I can see a Middle Eastern war happening now. Yeah, that's what I think is going to happen. I think we're going to see an escalation. I think we're going to see the next big target is going to be Iran. I think that's going to be the next thing. So I think they're going to go after Iran. That's going to be the next big thing. RR Timing, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Mike Subchinsky says, I play Far Cry 6, the video game on PlayStation 4. That's awesome. Far Cry is a good game. Prodby, thank you so much for the donation. Thank you guys for all your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. So let me see what the latest is here. Uh, a number of strikes hit. Let's see. I already covered that. Uh, Sirens were sounding at the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. Uh, U.S. led strikes targeted Houthi radar air defense sites as well as drone, cruise missile, and ballistic missile storage and launch sites, per U.S. defense official. Houthi targets assessed to be sites with no civilian presence, per official. Okay, so no civilian presence at these sites. Okay. Um, okay, but looks like air defense sites, radars, drone, cruise missile, and ballistic missile storage and launch sites were targeted. Okay, let me update the ticker, get that up there. One moment. Okay, so looks like a pretty comprehensive strike by the US and the UK. Looks like a pretty serious one. Looks like they hit a lot of different targets. So they're definitely messing let's see what else here. We're hearing that the Al Dalami Air Base was targeted north of the capital. CNN is reporting that at least 12 Houthi controlled sites were hit. CNN, according to a U.S. official telling CNN that Blinken told leaders during his tour that an operation against the Houthis was a defensive act and not an escalation. Um, we're hearing that there's airplanes flying over Hudaydah again. Um, checking to see if there's any updates here. Looks like it might still be ongoing now. Just checking different sources here. Let me see. Pentagon Chief Lloyd Austin, who remains hospitalized, said today's attacks targeted the Houthi UAV, land attack missiles, and coastal radar and air surveillance capabilities. Let me see here. Wow, it's really getting crazy here. Just checking some of the latest information coming in. The Israeli army is on high alert in anticipation of a Houthi response. This is being reported by Axios and an Israeli official. Okay, so the Israeli army is on high alert right now. Let's see what else. Israel was notified in advance of the operation against the Houthis in Yemen. Okay, so they were notified in advance. Let's see here. Prodby says Greg for Secretary of Defense. That would be a fun job. Light Source Engraving, thank you for the donation. I want to engrave 3Ps mags and send them to you. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool, definitely. If you could get in touch with me through my website, I have a contact form on my website. You can send me a message through my contact form, or you can email me. But my email, I get blown up with a lot of emails lately, so it's hard. Sometimes I miss certain emails. The doomsday clock is at 100 minutes to midnight. So, yeah, the doomsday clock is at 100 minutes to midnight, and they're supposed to update it in 2 weeks. B35.1, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, the doomsday clock is the closest it's ever been to midnight ever, closer than during the Cold War. So Jalapeno Prepper, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, 100 minutes to midnight is what the doomsday clock is set for right now. Kyle, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it. Thank you, Kyle. Very generous of you. False info. What's false info? It's 100 minutes till midnight, Karen. Check your sources. If you're going to say something is false info, check your sources. Oh, yeah, it's true. It is 90 seconds to midnight. That's right. Yeah, 90 seconds. Okay, 90 seconds instead of 90 minutes. Not really a big deal. I thought it was 100, but okay, so nail me to the cross. I said minutes instead of seconds. I'm such a terrible person. Nail me to the cross. I made a mistake. I'm a human being. Nail me to the cross. Wow, some people are just so sensitive. Um, I guess a lot of people don't understand the amount of work it takes to run a channel. It's easy to criticize other people when you're the one that's just sitting on your couch and watching everything, but you're not the one that actually has to, go live and report information. Um, but it is what it is. I always get there's always going to be those types of people out there. It's unavoidable when you're a public figure. I usually don't complain about stuff like that. Um, it's just unavoidable. When you're a public figure, there's always going to be people that don't like you for whatever stupid reason. They don't like the way you look. They don't like, your hair color. They don't like, whatever, the way you talk. It's just nasty people in this world, unfortunately. And, if you let those types of people get to you, you'll never, it's just, you have to have a thick skin, but sometimes it's just really, it can be pretty annoying even for me. I tolerate it, but some of these people are just unreasonable. So um, thank you for that donation, Kyle. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. NYPrepper, I haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. Jealousy. Yeah, it could be jealousy. Yeah, it could be some people are jealous. Yeah, that's unavoidable. I mean, um, there's always going to be jealous people out there. It's true. Ingrid Perez says, "You're not allowed to make mistakes, Greg. We rely on you. Seriously, though, we do rely on all your hard work." Thank you, Ingrid. I appreciate that. Um, Lorna will beat up the trolls. That's funny. Cynthia says, "We all need Jesus." Amen. Amen. We do. Um, Speaking of Jesus Christ, we are in the last days, guys. And, this war that's happening right now in the Middle East is biblical. It's all biblical, everything that's going on. Rod Camp says, "I don't like that I wear clothes." That's funny. You don't like that I wear clothes. That's hilarious. I don't know if that's a joke or that's pretty funny. Um, yeah, I don't. This is YouTube, not OnlyFans, and I have no plan to open an OnlyFans account. So sorry. Um, Thank you again, Kyle, for the donation. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. So yeah, the doomsday clock, 90 seconds to midnight, but they're going to update it very soon. Um, for those of you guys that want to see, January 24th is when they last updated it. 90 seconds to midnight, a time of unprecedented danger. Okay, unprecedented danger. So just absolutely insane situation. Unconfirmed reports of a second wave of U.S. attacks. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Second wave of attacks. Yep. Um, yeah, I'll check the flight radar. We did have this nuclear war command and control plane that looks like it turned its transponder off, potentially, or it just lost signal. But yeah, they're not going to be showing anything on Flight Tracker now because it's in the middle of an operation. Everything is going to be dark. As you see, there's nothing in the Middle East at all. Everything is just completely dark here. I mean, there's nothing out here at all. Okay, that's unusual. Nothing in Europe either. And now we know why there was that massive nuclear war exercise yesterday. There were a lot of people on social media claiming that it was a monthly exercise, that, yeah, they're going to suddenly do a monthly exercise with, half a dozen nuclear warplanes, a doomsday plane, a nuke sniffer planes. Yeah, that's a monthly exercise, because I've never seen that. And I've been following flight trackers for 2 years, okay, or more. 3 years I've been looking at flight trackers almost on a daily basis, and I've never seen that. Very rarely have I seen that. Usually when you see something like that, that means something big is about to happen, and that's exactly what happened. We had this big operation. So we have U.S. Patriot missile systems on high alert right now. Okay, U.S. Patriot missile systems are on high alert. Looks like China sent some more planes and vessels towards Taiwan. Apparently, there were 10 Chinese aircraft and 6 Chinese vessels around Taiwan today. So China's sending stuff to Taiwan. They've been sending balloons and all kinds of stuff. Let's see. Looks like Sukhoi 30s and Y8s. Interesting. Possibly more balloons. Let's see here. Yeah, the flight tracker is quiet. There's nothing going on. Their transponders are off. We're not going to see anything. So it's not even worth it to even look at it, because everything is turned off. They don't want people to see what they're doing. So see, I'm just checking. Let's see here. We have an RQ-4 off the coast of Florida right now. Let me just check some of the latest headlines. See if there's anything new coming in. Stand by. Just going to check some of the latest headlines here. So the U.S. Secretary of Defense has confirmed that the operation was against Houthi drones and Houthi missile facilities. So there was a comprehensive strike, okay? It was a very comprehensive strike. And Biden, in his statement, said they reserve the right to use more force if necessary. We still have the Iranian proxies to deal with too. It's not just the Houthis. We also have the proxies in Iraq. Okay. An American official said that they sought to avoid collateral damage during the operation. They were very accurate, and they were trying to avoid collateral damage. So that's some good news. Some good news there. Watchman 1956, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. Hope you're having a great evening. Edwards Village, thank you for the donation. Hope you're having a great evening. Optimus Vader, thank you so much for that donation. Thank you, Greg. You are my number one source of prepper news. God bless and keep up the good work. Thank you, Optimus. I appreciate it. and I have a lot of other content coming to the channel that's not just news related. I know some of you guys don't like the news that much. So I have a lot of other content that I just have to finish editing. It's just with all the news, it's hard for me to find time to make videos about a bug out bag, or how to build a bug out bag, or nuclear war survival. If I have to focus on something like this, you know, but I am planning a lot of cool stuff this year. So stay tuned to my channel. I have a lot of stuff that I think you guys are going to like. And if you're into the outdoors, I have a lot of outdoor stuff planned. Mike Subchinsky, thank you for the donation. Yes, I remember that last night Lee channel was on it and I saw your name in it. Yes, Lee was on it last night, KLW World News. Great guy, Lee Wilbarger. I know some of you guys out there complain about his personality, but listen, everybody has their own quirks. There's no perfect person. Everybody has their flaws. Just like anything else, nobody's perfect. So just keep that in mind. I have my flaws too. I have a short temper. I'm hot headed. Sometimes that can come out on live streams. I try to keep that under control. Nobody's perfect. Um, Good work, PE. Thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your work keeping us informed. God bless. Jesus is coming for his bride. Inquiring Minds, thanks again for the donation. So yeah, we had this E6 up in the air and looks like it turned its transponder off, which is very interesting. Or maybe because it flew over the Four Corners area, that maybe there was just no reception here. I don't know, but the E6 just shut its transponder off somewhere near the Navajo reservation. So that's kind of weird. Let me see what else here. Just checking some of the news. It's all just coming in right now, guys. So just bear with me here. Basically, the entire western portion of Yemen was hit. So multiple airports were hit. So it was a comprehensive operation, that's for sure. Definitely a comprehensive operation, to say the least. So I'm actually surprised, guys. I'm kind of I was very negative about the whole situation, and I thought that the U.S. was not going to respond in any way. And I'm actually impressed by the Biden administration, impressed and surprised. They did do a good job with this. They did what needed to be done. So we'll see how they deal with it going forward. Are they going to continue to do what needs to be done, or are they going to just basically make this a one and done situation where they just did this one thing, and then after the proxies start to attack us again, or the Houthis start to attack the ships again, are they just gonna not do anything about it and say, well, we already did what we needed to do, we're not going to do any more, because it's going to be an escalation if we do more? Is that what they're going to say? I don't know. But it's possible. It's possible. So we have to wait and see, how the Biden administration handles this. I'm trying to be optimistic here, but the whole situation, like I said, it's not looking good. Okay, it's just escalation is inevitable. Okay, it's inevitable because the weakness that we've shown The Houthis, they saw the weakness, the Hezbollah, and the proxies in Iraq. They've seen our weakness over the last 2 years in the way we dealt with Putin when he invaded Ukraine. He saw our weakness when we dealt with China, how we're dealing with China, the way we pulled out of Afghanistan. So, they feel like, okay, now's a good opportunity. So, we'll have to wait and see how things play out. But I think there's going to be more escalation, guys. We need to be really prepared for the possibility of a jihad being declared on the U.S. Okay, I think they basically already declared jihad. I think when the war in Israel started, on October 7th, I think they already basically kind of quietly declared a jihad against us. But like I reported over a month ago, the FBI, the DHS, the Counterterrorism Center, all of those, they're all saying that we need to be on alert, for the possibility of attacks this coming winter. So get prepared, guys. Okay. If there's ever a time to be prepared, it's now. Mr. Landfill, thank you for donating 20 memberships. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And I hope you're having a great night. It's good to see you in here. MSB9021, thank you for the donation. Jacqueline James, thanks for the donation. Check my messages. Definitely, I will. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So I'm just checking some more sources here. Apparently, there's a second wave expected or is happening right now, possibly. We have an American official saying that they hold Iran responsible for the role it plays in attacks against American forces. Wow. That's got to go up on the ticker. Let me add that to the ticker because that's pretty serious. Okay, so an American official is saying that the U.S. is holding Iran responsible for the attacks on American troops. Okay, that's what I'm saying, guys. This is the beginning. Okay, this is just the beginning. This is not the end. Okay, the U.S. is already blaming Iran, and they're asking the UN for a global response. So the next phase is Iran. Okay, like I said, Iran is the keystone to all of this. Okay, so they have to take out the keystone so this way they can eliminate all these issues. Just updating the ticker with the latest information. Hold on, guys. So strong words there from an American official saying that the U.S. holds Iran responsible for all of these attacks on the bases in Iraq and Syria lately. Okay, so that is just very, very concerning. Okay, and I know some of you guys don't like it when I say concerning. It bothers you, so I'm just gonna say it a lot more. Concerning, 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 very concerning, very concerning, very concerning, very concerning, very concerning, concerning, concerning. There's some people, when they watch my videos, they complain that I say for some reason that bothers them. There's always at least a few people that just drives them crazy when I take a pause when I'm talking and I say they get annoyed by that. I just don't understand some people out there. It's just crazy. I mean, absolutely insane. Paleo Greenbird, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir, for keeping us informed. Can you please explain the membership donations? How does that help you? Oh, yeah, the membership donations. Yeah, so I have memberships set up on my channel here on YouTube. And, membership, it just basically gives you some perks. Like what I'll do is occasionally I'll post extra information on for the members that I don't post for just regular subscribers. So you get some exclusive access to that. And so yeah, people just donate the memberships. Essentially, they buy memberships for other people. That's what it is. So I hope that explains everything. I'm not doing a whole lot with the memberships right now, just because I'm trying to do the best I can to keep up with the news, and then I have a Patreon as well. So I think I'm just going to keep the memberships the way they are for now. I don't know if I'm going to add extra, like levels of membership. I think I'm just going to keep it for now like this, because I have plenty of work cut out for me. And if I don't want to add extra things that I can't deliver on. I don't want to feel like I can't deliver on certain things. And so I hate that feeling of somebody expecting something and then I can't deliver it. You know what I mean? So for now, I'm just going to keep that one level of membership essentially. So thank you, Jacqueline James, for the donation and for the all the info you sent to me. I appreciate it. Thank you. Let me see here. Devin Aw says very concerning. Charles Goki says very concerning. Thanks for the donation. Jason Casper gifted 5 memberships. Thank you so much. RS gifted 10 memberships. Wow. Thank you very much. Devil Dog, thank you for the donation. Concerning. Denise Kumar gifted 20 memberships. Thank you so much. Thank you guys for all your donations. I appreciate it. And for the gifted memberships, really appreciate it. Lena Graham, it is concerning, Greg. Don't stop saying that. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to stop. That's what they want. They want to, these trolls, they think that they can get into your head and mess with your head. That's what they want. They want a reaction. They want you to get mad. They want you to adjust the way you do things. And that's just not me. Okay. I'm actually the opposite. If somebody criticizes me, I actually I give the opposite response from what they're expecting. Most people, they think, oh yeah, I'm just going to criticize Greg and he's just going to sit there and take it. No. If you come at me aggressively, I'm going to come back at you double aggressively. Okay, that's just the way I am. So they usually get the response. They usually get that kind of response. Um, so I'm gonna just check some more sources here, guys. It's all coming in right now, so I'm just checking to see if there's anything new here. Let's see. The Japanese government is saying that they condemn the actions of Houthi elements that violate the freedom of transit of ships. Okay. So the U.S. is calling on a global response. The U.S. is blaming Iran for the attacks on U.S. troops. So we see where this is going. It's going. All roads lead to Iran, basically, is what's going on here. All roads lead to Iran. And that's going to be the next big thing is Iran, because Iran is responsible for all of this, guys. They're responsible for all this chaos in the Middle East. It's all their fault. Okay, they're the ones that are putting the firewood on the fire. Okay, behind the scenes, they're arming all these groups. They're giving them support. Kenny Abner, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. Jacqueline James says, this is my channel and do what's right for me. Exactly. Yeah. That's right. That's the way to be. You have to, do what's best for you, especially when you built something from nothing. You reserve that right, Ingrid Perez says, if you don't say concerning, to me, that's concerning. That's funny. That's funny. That's a good one. Mike DT94 says, Lorna said, y'all better calm down or she's turning the car around. That's funny. That's so funny. Oh yeah, Ecuador. Yeah, I can check up on Ecuador. I can check up on Ecuador in a sec. I just want to check and see what else is coming in. Japan is saying that they support the decision of America and the allies to launch their operation against the Houthis to ensure the safety of ships. So Japan is basically supporting the U.S. and the U.K. in this operation. Because that's what it is. It's an operation. It's an operation. Let's see here. American officials are saying that the Houthis have not carried out any response yet to the operation. Okay, so American officials are saying there has been no response from the Houthis yet. So it looks like all those rumors are probably fake. We can say that those rumors are fake about the ship, the U.S. warship that was sunk, and all that stuff. That's we can say that that's probably fake. Let's see here. What other stuff do we have? A senior U.S. military official said moments ago that the U.S. is not seeing a retaliatory response by the Houthis just yet. Okay, so no response yet from the Houthis, but I do think it's coming. I'm also concerned that Hezbollah might do something now. So we have Hezbollah, We have the proxies in Iraq and Syria. We have the Houthis. We have Iran. I think the whole Middle East is going to just erupt into total war. All these groups are now going to start launching attacks on the U.S., on Israel. We have some unconfirmed reports that the U.S., the U.K., and the Netherlands government websites are facing a widespread cyber attack originating from Iran. This is unconfirmed, okay? Unconfirmed. We don't know for sure if this is true. Apparently, some kind of cyber attack on the U.S., U.K., and Netherlands government websites this evening. So see here. Just checking some of the flights here to see what's going on with the flights. Looks like all the transponders are probably off for a lot of these planes. We mostly have just like standard aircraft in the air. What's this? We have KC-2 Voyager here, operated by the UK. That's an aerial refueler. Peggy L says, thanks for all that you're doing, Greg. No problem, Peggy. Gene W., good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for showing up. I hope everything's going well. Our administration is shady. Yeah, they're definitely shady. There's no doubt about it. They are definitely shady. Frank Castle, what's going on? We got Frank Castle in the house. Frank Castle. God bless the USA, he says. Mona Lisa, what's going on? Bradley Moore says RC-135 was in the Red Sea. I didn't see that RC-135, but I'm going to look for it. Safer with Greg and PA. What do you mean by that? Tammy Esparza says, thank you for all the info. I hope you're doing well, Tammy. The U.S. and Great Britain will be releasing videos of the operation in the morning. Interesting. Natasha Shell says, I just got a propane heater put in as a backup in case the grid goes down. Very smart idea. There's a high wind warning for northwestern PA. Interesting. It's not windy in my area. Any updates on Ecuador? Yeah, I'll check up on Ecuador in a sec. Definitely check up on Ecuador and other areas around the world. There's no ongoing DDoS attacks. Okay, so that might be fake. Thank you, Mihao. Mihao, thank you. Looks like that was fake info, apparently, of the cyber attacks on the UK, US, and Netherlands. Could be fake. We'll have to wait and see. So we had the Chinese Air Force and Navy send more planes and ships towards Taiwan today. Here's a map that was provided by the Taiwan Ministry of Defense. Looks like a few balloons were sent over. You can see here 5 balloons. So lots of balloons. They're sending tons and tons of balloons to Taiwan. And I think it's today, tomorrow, Taiwan is having elections. They're going to vote for a new president, and the leader in the polls is very anti-China. He's all about Taiwan being independent, and China threatened the Taiwanese people and told them that you better vote for the candidate that we like, that's pro-China, or else, that's just insane. I mean, could you imagine, like, if Canada told Americans, you better vote for, Biden and not Trump, or else we're going to attack you. I mean, that's like just pure arrogance by the Chinese government. It's just so arrogant to think that they could intimidate people like that, and get away with it. It's just ridiculous. So yeah, I'm checking some more headlines here. Let's see. Just checking more headlines. There's no official confirmation yet of an attack on the U.S. Embassy in Iraq. It's still too premature. But there were some air raid sirens going off in Baghdad earlier. So just checking some of the latest headlines. So for now, it looks like it quieted down a little bit. For now, it looks like it quieted down. But looks like a pretty serious operation here, guys. And I don't think this is the end of it. I think we're going to see a lot more, stuff like this in the coming days and weeks. Major polar vortex is coming. Let me see what's going on with Ecuador. Ecuador is in a state of war basically right now. See what's going on with Ecuador. No real updates there for now. I'd have to really dig into it to find more info. Just a lot of troops being deployed. Colombia deployed their forces to the border. Lots of military. Colombia deployed their forces. Peru deployed their forces. So it's a very serious situation over there. They're in a state of total war right now. Total war. Looks like there was some kind of a disruption earlier in Israel to a telecom telecom hub and data infrastructure company Med1. Apparently, there was some kind of an outage. So, some kind of hack in Israel earlier targeting Med1. Med1, a telecom hub and data infrastructure company. There was some kind of an outage. Let me just get that up on the screen so you guys can see. Just going to see if there's any updated information from. Oh, we have a statement from Lloyd Austin. Lloyd Austin made a statement. Let's check out his statement here. Statement by Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin on coalition operation in Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen. In light of the illegal, dangerous, and destabilizing Iranian-backed Houthi attacks against U.S. and international vessels and commercial vessels from many countries lawfully transiting the Red Sea, today the militaries of the United States and the UK, with support from Australia, Bahrain, Canada, and the Netherlands, conducted an operation against military targets in Houthi-controlled areas of Yemen. This action is intended to disrupt and degrade the Houthis' capabilities to endanger mariners and threaten global trade in one of the world's most critical waterways. Today's coalition action sends a clear message to the Houthis that they will bear further costs if they do not end their illegal attacks. Today's operation targeted sites associated with the Houthis' unmanned aerial vehicle, ballistic and cruise missile, and coastal radar and air surveillance capabilities. Okay. The United States maintains its right to self-defense and, if necessary, will take follow-on actions to protect U.S. forces. Okay. Strong words there from Lloyd Austin. If necessary, will take follow-on actions, basically echoing what Biden said. Biden said, I will not hesitate to direct further measures to protect our people and the free flow of international commerce as necessary. Okay. Crazy, guys. Crazy situation. We saw this coming, didn't we? If you guys have been watching me for the last few months or last week, you probably would have known that this was going to happen. I was warning you guys that this would happen for a while. Since November 19th, the Houthis have launched more than 24 attacks on vessels, including commercial vessels, creating an international challenge that demands collective action. Today, a coalition of countries committed to upholding the rules-based international order demonstrated our shared commitment to defending U.S. and international vessels and commercial vessels exercising navigational rights and freedoms from illegal and unjustifiable acts. We will not hesitate to defend our forces, the global economy, and the free flow of legitimate commerce in one of the world's vital waterways. Okay. So, huge, guys. This is huge. This is historic, and I think it's just going to keep escalating, unfortunately. We now have a group of protesters in Times Square right now, pro-Hamas protesters in Times Square right now. The Iranian Navy is on high alert right now. The U.S. is blaming Iran for all the attacks on U.S. forces in Iraq and Syria. Robert Omo says, thank you, Greg. I like your format. Big fan. San Francisco Bay Area. Wow. Mr. Landfill, take care. Good to see you. Thanks for showing up, and thanks for all your support. Appreciate it. Tactical Matt Foley says, "Don't forget to drink some water. Don't get dehydrated." Yeah, I got to go drink some water in a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go take a break in a little bit. In a little bit, I'll have to get some food and water. Ingrid Perez, thank you for all your support. I really appreciate it. Rodney Middleton, good to see you in here. Can't wait to see the gift that you sent me. Thank you very much for that. No, the Navy ship, I don't think it got hit. The U.S. Navy ship, I don't think it got hit. I think that was fake news. But I guess we'll find out soon, maybe tomorrow or the day after. I think that was fake news. Michael Gale says 3 months. This has been going on. Yeah, it's been going on for 3 months. Yeah, there are protests in New York City right now, guys. So be careful if you're in the New York City area. Be on alert. Let me see if there's anything else coming in here. Just checking some other sources. Let's see here. Just checking various sources, guys. 1 minute. So I think U.S. bases, U.S. bases in the Middle East might get attacked now. After this, I think we're going to see more attacks. I think we're going to see Hezbollah potentially increase their attacks or launch some kind of massive attack on Israel. So it's just going to continue to escalate, guys. Unfortunately, I hope not. I hope it doesn't. Maybe it won't. We'll see. See, I'm just checking various sources, guys. So now we know why that nuclear war exercise took place yesterday. Now we know it wasn't just monthly training. It was, preparation for this. What's going on, Mary Beth Hammond? Good to see you. Maddie Grace, how's it going? Kincoy. Smoking Swamp Outdoors. Kincoy says, be right back. Mini nukes were used in Hodeidah. It's possible, I guess. Grumpy old man, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well. Wow. Helena, Montana is minus 11, going down to minus 21. Wow. Yeah, we have a polar vortex coming in. Let me see if I can check out the latest info on that. We have a polar vortex coming into the U.S. Well, it's going to affect the entire northern hemisphere, but it looks like in Europe it's already cold, but temperatures are supposed to plummet. Let me see. Wow, looks like this weekend is really going to be brutal. Let me show you guys what we're looking at here. Let's see. All right, so here we have a forecast from the European model, European Center for Medium Weather Forecast. I'm just going to shut my camera off so I don't block anything. Hold on. So this is the European model. They're usually pretty accurate. You can see all this cold air up here in Canada, and let's just go through each day. So here we have Friday, and you can see by Friday evening we have the pink colors here spilling down into Montana. Okay, this looks like -5 Fahrenheit. Okay, they're actually showing -24 in Great Falls, -22 in Kalispell, -28 Missoula, -22 Bozeman. Okay, that's Friday night. Cody, Wyoming, -22. Look at these numbers, guys. Montana is going to be absolutely frigid. Even Seattle, look how cold Seattle's going to be. 21 degrees Fahrenheit is cold for Seattle, guys. That's tomorrow night, okay? So let's just continue going through here. Saturday morning, you can see this area of pink spreading further into the Dakotas. By Saturday morning, you have Rapid City at -11. Okay. Cheyenne, Wyoming, -13. And then let's go Saturday midday. And it really spreads Saturday midday. You can see basically all of South Dakota, -10 Fahrenheit. That's crazy, guys. Still warm in the east for the most part, as you can see here, but that's going to change. By Saturday night, you can see this huge area of cold air in the northeast. See, Sunday night, much colder across the southern states. Look at the southern states here. Sunday night, you have Nashville, 21 degrees Fahrenheit. Little Rock, Arkansas, 25 degrees. Dallas, 28. We have Des Moines, Iowa, -13. Wow. Let's go to Monday. And then Monday, the cold air spreads further south, down into the deep southern states. And then Tuesday, it starts to retreat by like Tuesday or Wednesday. And then here's Thursday. Actually, you can see that super cold air ends up retreating by like Tuesday, Wednesday-ish. It kind of moderates in the Midwest, but the cold air spills further south by mid to late next week. You can see like Alabama in the 20s, Georgia in the 20s, South Carolina in the 20s by Tuesday. So we'll have to wait and see how it plays out. But so it looks like this coming weekend is going to be absolutely frigid. Okay, this coming weekend is going to be absolutely frigid. And look at this cold air across the entire U.S. Look how far south it goes, all the way down to like Corpus Christi area. San Antonio, 28 degrees on Tuesday night. Look at that. 28 degrees in San Antonio Tuesday night. So that's the polar vortex situation. Ross Snyderman's asking if he missed anything. That's funny. Yeah, Ross, you missed it all, man. You missed it all. Uh, what else? Ecuador. Somebody wanted me to find out some info on Ecuador. Um, as of right now, I think the situation in Ecuador is it's just ongoing. Um, yeah, there's some fake news going around that a F-22 was shot down. Uh, that's definitely fake, guys. I mean, yeah, that's definitely fake. Um, apparently, Iran released a video of them recapturing that oil tank. I can't share the video, unfortunately, but just shows them boarding this oil tanker. Um, shows them boarding the oil tanker. So, really, a comprehensive operation tonight. Multiple targets hit. Multiple airports were hit. All the main airports in um, Yemen were hit. They hit the Taiz airport, the Sana'a airport, and also the Hodeidah airport. So it's some good news, that the U.S. is doing something about it. But we'll wait and see going forward if this is a one and done or they're going to continue. Um, Senator Jack Reed said military action against the Houthis were necessary and proportionate. That's what Senator Jack Reed just said. The Australian Defence Minister said the Houthis are involved in undermining the rules based system. Uh, he also said that Australia provided support during the U.S. operation in Yemen. Okay. So Australia provided support, Bahrain, the Netherlands, bunch of different countries. Um, Ingrid Perez says someone in the chat earlier said something about a Russian ship 90 miles off the coast of Florida. Yeah, they're always off the coast of Florida, off the eastern seaboard. Yeah, they're always there. I'm not super concerned about it. Um, they're all over the place, so there's nothing we can really do about that. They're in international waters, so there's nothing we can do. But yeah, they're always patrolling all the oceans. Russian subs, our subs are also right off the coast of Russia. So that's, I guess, I don't know if normal's the right word, but it's pretty common. Um, um, who do I think is mobilizing and organizing the anti-Israel protesters in the U.S.? It's a good question. I don't know, honestly. I don't know. Could be the Iran. It could be various groups. Different jihadi groups and stuff. It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Let me just check and see what other news is coming in right now. Fresh news. So I'm going to actually just take a quick break and I'll be right back. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. So just stand by. I just need to, get something to drink and stuff. So I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Thanks for waiting. I see a lot of people probably left, but that's okay. Um, so I'm gonna just check and see what the latest is here, but I don't know if you guys have seen the footage of the aliens in Brazil. I don't know if you guys have seen that. Um, I'm gonna see if I can share that with you guys at some point. End Times Bible Study says, thanks for the live stream. K. Paul, good to see you in here. Thank you, K. Paul. Yeah, it's very concerning. Very concerning. Central Command put out a statement. Okay, let me see what I can find here. Let's see. They put out multiple statements. They put out multiple statements here and some footage. Wow, really long. Um, see here. If I can share this with you guys. So this is coming from U.S. Central Command. Let me read to you what they posted here on Twitter tonight. On January 11th at 2:30 a.m. Sana'a time, Sana'a is the capital of Yemen, U.S. Central Command forces in coordination with the UK and support from Australia, Canada, the Netherlands, and Bahrain conducted a joint operation on Houthi targets to degrade their capability to continue their illegal and reckless attacks on U.S. and international vessels and commercial shipping in the Red Sea. This multinational action targeted radar systems, air defense systems, and storage and launch sites for one-way attack unmanned aerial systems, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles. Since October 17, 2023, Iranian-backed Houthi militants have attempted to attack and harass 27 ships in international shipping lanes. These illegal incidents include attacks that have employed anti-ship ballistic missiles, unmanned aerial vehicles, and cruise missiles in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. These strikes have no association with and are separate from Operation Prosperity Guardian, a defensive coalition of over 20 countries operating in the Red Sea, Bab al-Mandeb, and the Gulf of Aden. So this was separate. Okay, this operation was separate from the Prosperity Guardian. Okay, they're clearly saying here that it was separate. So Michelle White, thank you so much for the super chat. USA is the greatest nation in the world. We are one nation under God. Thank you for all you're doing, Greg. Much appreciated. Amen. I totally agree. I think America was chosen by God to be what it is today, and unfortunately, we've seen better days. We're definitely not what we should be and what we used to be. That's for sure. And it's mostly because of the elites that are ruling the country. The New World Order, Illuminati, those people, they want to take control of our country and ruin it. Um, so, continuing on with the statement from Central Command, we hold the Houthi militants and their destabilizing Iranian sponsors responsible for the illegal, indiscriminate, and reckless attacks on international shipping that have impacted 55 nations so far, including endangering the lives of hundreds of mariners, including the United States, said General Michael Eric Kurilla, U.S. CENTCOM commander. Their illegal and dangerous actions will not be tolerated and they will be held accountable. So, what's interesting here is they say we hold the Houthi militants and their destabilizing Iranian sponsors. Okay. So, they're not just mentioning the Houthis, they're also mentioning Iran here. Okay. Um, so, I'm telling you guys, all roads lead to Iran. The next big thing is Iran. Because now if they do go after Iran, they have justification for it because they could say that Iran is sponsoring the Houthis and the Houthis are attacking international shipping lanes, and they can get a multinational support for this campaign on Iran. So I think that that's the ultimate goal is to go after Iran. But they're saying that this is separate from Operation Prosperity Guardian. Okay, so this is separate from that. And then here we have some footage showing some of these fighter jets taking off. This looks like the E-2. That's the Navy's radar plane. It's like an AWACS for the Navy. Okay. Um, and then here we have, what is that? I can't really see. Is that an F-16? Or no, that looks like a Typhoon. Looks like a British Typhoon. I could be wrong, though. You hear that power of that engine uh, when it takes off. Let me see if I can get some audio for that. I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but let me see here. See, hopefully now you can hear it. Yeah, I do think we will hit them again. Potentially, yes. Mama of six. I think it's very possible we will hit them again tonight. F-18. Sorry, F-18. Yeah. Um, F-18. Thank you. Yes, E-2 Hawkeye is the radar plane. Do I see more strikes on Yemen? And next phase will take out nuke sites in Iran. Yes, that's what I think is going to be. I think they're going to go after the nuclear sites in Iran. But I don't think they're just going to limit it to the nuclear sites. I think they're also going to try to take out the Iranian Navy. I think they're going to go for the Iranian Navy as well. They're going to go after the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. They're going to try to take them out because the IRGC is heavily involved with these proxies that have been attacking U.S. bases in Iraq and Syria. The IRGC is basically helping these proxies to attack our bases. So I think they're going to go after the IRGC, all the IRGC bases and different sites. They're going to go after the Iranian Navy and then the nuclear sites as well. So it's going to be a massive operation. Carol Probert, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate it. Mike Subchinsky, how's it going? I'm not aware of anything in Michigan, but we can take a look at Michigan in a second. Michelle White, thank you so much again for that donation. I really appreciate it. And Son of Hearn, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate that. Yeah, there was this weird footage that came out last night from Brazil of some aliens walking around. I'm going to try to share that with you guys. It looks to be fake, but it was definitely kind of strange. Let me see here. What else do I have? So Central Command just put out a statement. Mud and Munitions, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. Can we hear the aircraft again? Yeah, sure. I can play that. T.W. Perry, thank you for all your support. Appreciate it. Ship the protesters in Times Square to Tehran. Let's see how they like it out there. That's so funny. Yeah, they probably wouldn't last too long. That's for sure. They definitely wouldn't last too long. That's funny. Mama of 6, thank you for gifting 20 memberships. That's really nice of you. Thank you very, very much. Hope you're doing well. Thank you. And Campbell Clan, good to see you. Thank you for the donation. I hope you're doing well, man. So let's see here. Aliens are a demonic deception. Yeah, it seems that way. It seems like that's what it is. And let's see. Yeah, someone wanted to hear the engine again. Can make that's the sound of freedom right there. It's the sound of freedom, baby. Let's see. We have some other pictures here from Central Command. Let's see. Here we have looks like a picture of a Eurofighter, or maybe it was a F-18 taking off from the aircraft carrier. And looks like here we have one of the warships launching a missile. So, yeah, this is crazy, guys. This is historic. We're witnessing history here. There's reports that oil is dropping or going up in price now. I have to double check on that. Yeah, we have protesters in Times Square. Wow, breaking news. Russia's calling for an emergency session of the UN Security Council to discuss the US and UK operation. in Yemen. Okay, so Russia is calling an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council. Um, wow, this is insane. It's just going to spiral out of control, guys. Situation's going to spiral out of control. Looks like we have some initial information coming in. Apparently, Navy officials are saying that 15 F-18 Super Hornet multi-role fighters launched from the USS Dwight Eisenhower participated in tonight's operation against the Houthis. Well over 100 precision-guided munitions from Tomahawk land attack cruise missiles to AGM-88 HARM air-to-surface anti-radiation missiles being utilized. So well over 100 guided munitions. Okay, looks like they used HARM missiles to take out the radar sites, and also Tomahawks. Okay, they took out multiple airports. They took out all kinds of stuff. So this was probably being planned for some time. I'm sure they didn't just suddenly decide today. This was planned for a while. You know, they had to figure out ahead of time which targets to hit. They had to look at intelligence to decide. So, wow, guys. Let me just update the ticker. I'm going to update the ticker in a second here with the latest info. Let me add that in there for people just tuning in. So this was a big attack, guys. Big attack. Well over 100 guided missiles, guys. There's some unconfirmed reports of some bases coming under attack. I cannot confirm that at this time. U.S. bases apparently are coming under attack now. Let me see if I can find anything about that. I'm not hearing anything at the moment. U.S. bases coming under attack. I'm checking various Middle Eastern sources, and I'm not seeing anything. But the situation is escalating, guys. It's really escalating. Blue Bee Grace, thank you so much for the donation. I appreciate it. Thank you, Greg. Praying for our military personnel, our country, God bless everyone. Thank you, Blue Bee. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I hope you're having a great Thursday night. Richie Groves, thank you for the donation. Went on a family naval cruise on the USS Independence. Oh, wow. That must have been pretty cool. Interesting. And Robert Well, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate it. I don't know if there's any EAMs. I haven't checked the EAMs. Let me see. I can set them up. Let me see. I can set them up right now, and we can tune into them. Let me see if I can set it up. Quiet right now, but if anything comes in, I'll let you guys listen to it. Um, yeah, so unconfirmed reports of U.S. bases being under attack. I don't think they are, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. Um, let me see. Just checking various sources here. Oh, let me get the flight tracker up on the screen so you guys can check out the flights. Um, it's unusually quiet over the Middle East right now as far as military planes go. But if we select all categories, you can see there's a lot of planes, but they're all avoiding Yemen. Look, you see that? They're all just flying around Yemen. Simple Cooking, thank you so much for the donation. I really appreciate that. That's very kind of you. If you can't donate, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. Yeah, definitely subscribe and hit the thumbs up if you like what you see. Thank you guys for all your support tonight. I really appreciate it. I want to see if I could find this alien footage. It's really bizarre, but I just want to share it. It's so strange. I want to see what you guys think about it. It looks like it's fake, but it's really bizarre. I mean, it just looks like a person standing there. Let me see. Let's see here. They look like Nephilims, like they were Nephilims. See if I can get a good video for you. Really strange. Trying to find a good one. Good video. I actually took a screenshot of one from the video here. So maybe I'll share that screenshot. Hold on. Really strange video. Um, We got anti Israel protesters in Times Square right now. Um, Apparently, 60 targets in Yemen were hit. 60 targets at 16 locations, including command and control nodes, munitions depots, launching systems, production facilities, and air defense radars used by the Houthis. 60 targets, guys. Over 100 guided munitions, combination of Tomahawk missiles and HARM missiles. Um, Russia is calling for an emergency meeting of the UN Security Council. Okay. Um, just update the ticker. Richie Gross, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Our Navy is number one. Biden's weakness caused all of this. It's all for kickbacks from the military industrial complex. Yeah, definitely. I agree. It's definitely his weakness for sure. Um, Randy Yoder, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate that. And Husker, thank you so much for that donation. Thanks, Greg. We appreciate all you do. Thank you, Husker. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for all the support. Um, so we have 60 targets that were hit. We have over 100 missiles launched. We have 15 F-18 fighter jets that were used, at least 4 British Eurofighter Typhoons. They were launched from various bases around the Middle East, including um, Cyprus, and the Dwight Eisenhower was used. So massive operation tonight. Russia's calling for an emergency meeting. So emergency security council meeting. Yeah, here's the footage of the here's the footage of the aliens. I'm not saying that this is real. Okay, I'm not sure what it is, but you guys can judge for yourself. I'm going to share it. Really strange footage here. Could have just been some kind of a hoax. But here's the footage. So there's like these tall things standing on the top of this hill. I don't know if you guys can see that. There we go.
Com o zoom aqui dá pra ver ele se mexendo melhor.
O zoom dele é melhor que o meu. E outra coisa, se você for fazer uma comparação, ele é mais ou menos do tamanho daquela árvore lá, ó. Entendeu? Ele é grande. Outra coisa, até você tem que se movimentar, não tá normal. Não, pode ser um ser humano gigante, mas ele tá com um comportamento diferente. Cara, é um Anunnaki, velho. Você consegue captar as vibrações, vem até nós. Só não vem à noite.
Mano, pior que mexe esquisito demais.
Ele parece, sabe aquele lance índio?
Really strange, guys. I don't know what to think of it.
Arco e flecha, é o movimento dele. Mas é interessante. Ó, ele tá no meio do morro. Olha ele no meio do morro.
Ele vai ser camufladão,
a gente tá
velho.
1,5 km daqui, né? Olha só, ele tá descendo agora. Ele tá descendo.
Gente, é muito...
Cara, menos de um minuto. Olha só.
Não, gente, vamos lá, mãe. Vamos.
Não, olha lá. E como que se fosse um macaco? Tá conseguindo ver ele ainda?
Aham.
Em direção a essa pedra aqui.
Tá no
Now
zoom.
this alien starts walking down the side of the hill. Okay. Thank you, Bradley Moore. Thank you so much for the donation. WC 135 Constant Phoenix over Australia. Thanks for sharing. Could be a sign that North Korea is going to launch something. JD Heiner, thank you for the donation. Yeah, it could be AI. I thought it was BS, but, look at the end of the video. I want to show you. The end of the video is really creepy.
Aham. Tá no zoom
I
máximo
mean, it
aqui.
doesn't look like a person.
Continua descendo. Cara, faz 2 minutos que desceu do topo.
Ele desceu muito rápido.
Olha as passadas dele, o tamanho.
So eventually this thing, you can see it walking
Olha
here.
a rapidez.
And I don't know if it shows its silhouette. Oh, I guess this particular video didn't show the silhouette. I don't know. It could have been a person. Looks like a person looking through a binocular right there.
Ele é mais ou menos do tamanho daquela árvore.
Looks like somebody, but look at the arms. Look weird. Really like skinny arms. I don't know. It's kind of strange. I had a screenshot. It's hard to find the footage where it actually there's like a picture of it walking like sideways, and you can see the side profile of it. Anyway, see, EAMs are quiet right now. But Russia is calling for an emergency Security Council meeting right now. So the situation in Israel is spiraling, or the Middle East is spiraling out of control. It's getting worse and worse by the day. Let's check the flight tracker. See here. There was a Constant Phoenix near Australia. Let me see. Oh yeah, that's the one that. Oh yeah, that was the one that took off yesterday. Wow, looks like it stopped in Hawaii. That was the one that flew from Offutt yesterday. It went to Honolulu, and now it looks like it's going to land in Australia somewhere. Wow. So that's pretty interesting. The U.S. moving a nuke sniffer to Australia. That means that they want to keep an eye on the Korean Peninsula probably for any kind of nuclear tests that Kim Jong-un may try to do. That's pretty interesting. Um, wow. Very interesting. Transponders over the Middle East are all off. Yeah, they're definitely off. Definitely, they're all off. Ingrid Perez, good to see you're still up here, still up on here. Kinkoi, thanks for staying up. Ross Snyderman said I could use an Oreo roll. That sounds good. Do not be deceived, folks, says Ingrid. Next NBA superstar. That's funny. I don't know when that UN Security Council meeting is going to start, but Russia's demanding a UN Security Council meeting now because we launched those. We launched the operation against Yemen. It's funny how Russia's allowed to invade a whole country, attack cities, and they think that's fine. But as soon as we do something minor, like launching 100 missiles, which is something, I mean, Russia's launched like thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of missiles and rockets at Ukraine. But suddenly the US and the UK, we launch 100 or so missiles at some terrorists, and all of a sudden Russia's so upset and they're panicking. Oh no, we got to have a UN Security Council meeting. But Russia is allowed to launch thousands and thousands of missiles, and it's okay for them to do that. So just absolutely insane. With this alien video coming out, the reason I shared it with you guys is because there's a lot of talk now about aliens. That seems to be the new thing now. Aliens, 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 UFOs, UFOs, UAPs, UAPs. That's all that we're hearing about these days. We have all these whistleblowers coming out. There was another whistleblower over the summer that came out and said that they actually had alien body parts that they recovered. So something's going on with that. It's very strange. And, what's really weird is all these movies in the 80s and 90s that I grew up watching as a kid, like Terminator, E.T., Alien, Predator, all these movies about AI and aliens. And now 30, 40 years later, it's actually happening. So they obviously knew about it ahead of time. Hollywood knew about it ahead of time. Predictive programming, Hollywood always tells us what's going to happen. And by the way, I think we're going to see dinosaurs is going to be the next thing too, because of all these dinosaur movies like, Jurassic Park and all these different types of, dinosaur movies. I think that's going to be the next thing, is that, there's dinosaurs on Earth, that they recovered DNA and they have dinosaurs now or something. I think that's going to be the next thing. But 20 Days in Mariupol is a heart-wrenching documentary. I started watching a little bit of it, and I just never had a chance to finish, but I definitely have to check it out. Campbell Clan says Red Dawn is coming soon. Yeah, very possible. Is this the same report you were talking about 2 weeks ago? I'm not sure which report that was that you're referencing. Yo Maple says, bring on Jurassic Park. I'm so ready. Let's bring the dinos back. That would be insane, seeing a T-Rex walking around. That would be insane. Mud and Munition says, whatever happened with those two small aliens that were mummified? Did they do DNA? Oh yeah, that was in like Mexico when the Mexican parliament showed the little alien bodies. Yeah, I don't remember what happened with that. Redneck Yankee, how's it going? First time watcher. Where in New York are you at? I'm in Western Massachusetts. I used to live in upstate New York. Now I live in north central Pennsylvania. So I don't live in New York anymore. I just never bothered to change my name because if I change my name, people have a hard time finding me. And, it just makes things more confusing if I change my name. So I just kept it NYPrepper. But I haven't lived in New York in over 2.5 years. But I used to live in upstate New York, not too far from Western Massachusetts. I've been to Western Massachusetts quite a few times. It's a really beautiful area, very peaceful, nice area. Earth Angel Anna, how's it going? Independence Day, yes, Independence Day, right, exactly, the alien invasion. Ronald Reagan was a big believer in aliens. Ronald Reagan, his whole thing with the what was it, the Star Wars program, where he wanted to create like all these like space-based weapons. And he even said himself, like one of his famous speeches was, what would happen if, imagine if there was some kind of external force that came to the world and tried to attack us, that we would all unite. So very interesting about Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan also loved horses and jelly beans. Yeah, Ronald Reagan was the man. We really need a Ronald Reagan right now with all this chaos going on. Mama of Six says, Will Smith has enough problems of his own. Ashy8886 says, first time chatter, but watched a lot. Thank you, Ashy. I appreciate that. Thanks for watching. Thank you, K. Paul, for moderating. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Pine Bush, New York is one of the biggest UFO hotspots in the country. Not sure if many folks know that. They have even an annual alien parade. I didn't know they had a parade in Pine Bush, but I know that the Hudson Valley region of New York had a massive amount of sightings back in the 80s and 90s. If you look up like Hudson Valley UFO sightings, there's a lot of UFO sightings in the Hudson Valley and like the southern part of upstate New York. But if you look up like Hudson Valley UFO sightings in the 80s, I think it was, there was like a string of sightings, like hundreds of them in the 80s. And the most notable one was over the Indian Point nuclear power plant, which has been shut down by the Democrat New York governors. They shut it down. But when it was operational, there was a UFO that hovered over the Indian Point reactor, and it hovered like really low above the reactor. And apparently the local police and National Guard was deployed because they were afraid that it was some kind of foreign, aircraft that was trying to attack the power plant. So yeah, and then they created the Space Force. It's kind of strange how they created the Space Force. Yeah, the Illuminati cards. Yeah, I've covered the Illuminati cards quite a bit. A lot of the Illuminati cards predict things. I don't know if there's any Illuminati card that is relevant to what's happening now. In the Middle East. Let me see here if I could find anything. Um, they have this card for World War III. That's one of their cards, so that means World War III is definitely going to happen. This is their World War III card. Okay. They even have a card for Newt Gingrich. Isn't that funny? They have a card for Hillary Clinton, Saddam Hussein. I think this is probably Donald Trump. This one here. You have to keep in mind these cards were made in the 90s, guys. 1996 is when these cards came out. And you see this charismatic leader. I mean, doesn't that look like Donald Trump to you? The blonde hair. Trump is very charismatic. But these cards were released in 1996. They also have this one of the Pentagon. I mean, this one right here is this one right here to me is just like proof that the Illuminati cards are 100% real. This card showing the Pentagon, okay, this was in 1996, guys. Okay, 1996. Look at that. Okay. I mean, clearly, it's just. Then they have this one here. I mean, this one doesn't get any more obvious. If that's not obvious, look at this one. I mean, I think you guys know what this one is. Yeah, definitely the cards, they're no joke. So I mean, look at that card. That's insane, guys. Absolutely insane. Yeah, 911. That's right. That was in 1996. This card came out. Okay. So yeah, and then this one also, the Pentagon, and then this one. They have a bunch of other ones relevant. They have this one here. Look at this one, guys. Check this one out. Look at this. Tell me that's not crazy. Okay, that was in 1996, guys. This was put out. Look at that. I mean, isn't that weird? It's definitely not a coincidence, in my opinion. Heather Murray, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate it. Yes, there is a New World Order card. Yep, there is a New World Order card. Let me see. Let's see here. I think they have a card for Snowden too. I think they have a card for Snowden. Look, I think this is supposed to be Snowden. Edward Snowden. Let me see here. I think this one is supposed to be Snowden. Deep Agent. I think that was supposed to be Snowden. I mean, it's just really creepy. Really creepy, guys. Really creepy. They have International Communist Conspiracy. That's another one, which I think is real. I think there is an international communist conspiracy. The communists want to take control of the world. I think that's what China's trying to do. China, Russia, North Korea, they're all trying to spread global communism. That was actually the Soviet Union. That was their plan. The Soviet Union, when they wanted global communism. So, oh look, they have one for Israel. Look at this one, guys. I found it. Haha. Look at this card. Look, it's Israel, guys. And you notice, look what it says. Or look, it's Israel, and then it has this Israeli army soldier with a machine gun. Okay, look at that. There you have it, guys. So we know that a lot of this stuff that's going on now is all, not all of it, but a lot of it could be planned. So I'm going to get back to some news. I'm just taking a little bit of a break from the news, just for a minute, couple minutes. I'm sure you guys need a break too. Someone said pen prepper. Yeah, I could change my name, but like I said, I already have my merchandise is NYPrepper. My business is NYPrepper. I mean, it would be a huge change. It's just not worth it for 2 letters. Is it really that critical that I should change? It's just not that critical. I mean, it's not worth the hassle for me. If my channel, if it was like I just started my channel a few months ago, then yeah, I would change it. But I've been on YouTube 6 years, so I don't want to confuse people. It's just at this point, it's not. I'm not going to change it. I have no plans. I have no plans to change it. But thanks for the suggestions. I appreciate it. Dustin P, thank you so much for the super chat. You the man, Dustin from SF Bay Area. San Francisco, I will say San Francisco, it's a beautiful area, even though the politics suck. The San Francisco Bay is just beautiful, and California is such a beautiful state. Tony Almeida says you got too much invested, NYP, not worth changing. As long as you don't call yourself PP Prepper. That's funny. Smoking Swamp Outdoors says concerned prepper. That's funny. That's a good one. Concerned prepper. Let me just shout out a couple of channels. Check out Smoking Swamp Outdoors. He's trying to get his channel going. He just started up not too long ago. Let me just show you some channels that I recommend. Duramax News is one of them. Okay, he's actually live right now, but he does 24-hour coverage of news. It's my buddy Duramax News. Check him out. Tell him I sent you. He's got 24-hour coverage. He doesn't stay on like I do, but he has he covers like the emergency action messages and stuff like that. Let me see. And then we got Smoking Swamp Outdoors. He's trying to get his channel going. Let me just give him a shout out here. He just started not too long ago. He does a lot of outdoor stuff in the Florida area. Bigfoot hunting, survival, prepping. So here's his channel. Check him out. Good guy. Does a lot of outdoor stuff in Florida area. So good guy. Check him out. Yeah, this card is insane. Here's another crazy card, Ark of the Covenant. Not sure what that means, why they would have a card for the Ark of the Covenant. That's kind of weird. Unless maybe something's going to happen with that. I don't know. Indiana Jones is what I'm thinking of when I hear Ark of the Covenant. Shroud of Turin. They have one for the Shroud of Turin. I mean, just so many cards. But this one looks like Snowden to me. I mean, this one right here, Snowden, is definitely this one right here, Edward Snowden. And then this one is pretty obvious. I mean, we all know about this. You can even see in the background, look, all the body bags here. There's like a little syringe, disinfectant. There's even a mask here. I mean, it's just crazy. And then this thing here, Pentagon. I mean, it's just insane. It's really crazy. You can buy these cards. They don't make them new anymore. You have to buy them used. They're actually quite expensive if you want to buy them used. And then we got Israel here. So yeah, it's just crazy, guys. Let me check on some of the news here, see if there's anything new that came in. We're hearing some breaking news. Hezbollah may attempt a strike on the American homeland. Yeah, I reported on that a few days ago, actually. A few days ago, the U.S. is concerned that Hezbollah could try to carry out attacks here in the U.S. I reported on that a few days ago. Like I said, guys, get prepared, okay? Make sure you have a bug out bag. Make sure you have self-defense tools, okay? Things are about to get crazy. Okay, I'm serious. I'm dead serious. Make sure you have your bug out bag ready to go. Make sure you have all your preparedness related stuff ready to go, because they could also take down our power grid with a cyber attack. That's one thing that we haven't seen this year so far yet, is a massive cyber attack on our country. I mean, they've done all kinds of different cyber attacks, stealing data and stuff like that. But I'm talking about a cyber attack that would actually shut down our power grid. They haven't tried to do that yet, or maybe they tried, but they haven't succeeded. So I think that's coming, guys. I don't know if you guys remember the 2003 blackout, 2003 Northeast blackout. Some of you guys might be old enough to remember it. I was actually working a job at a supermarket, and all of a sudden the power went out and nothing worked in the supermarket. It was in the middle of the daytime. It was such an eerie feeling. It was just the weirdest feeling ever. But I think we could have another 2003 Northeast blackout situation happen here in the U.S. I think that's coming. I think it's imminent. They're going to try to shut down our power, and it would be across an entire part of the country, not just like a small area. They would try to take out a large part of the country. Light Source Engraving, good to see you in here still. I'll definitely take you up on that offer for the engraved PMags. That would be cool. I just got to check with YouTube guidelines if I'm allowed to like promote a company that, you know what I mean, that does stuff like that. I got to check into that. But I'll talk to you more about that over the email. Craig P says I was going to set up a channel called Salt and Prepper. That's funny. Yeah, Oregon Preparedness, another channel to check out. Oregon Preparedness, great channel. Bullets for Bucks, my buddy Steve, Bullets for Bucks, great channel. Bullets for Bucks, I just had him on for a live stream not too long ago. Ross Snyderman says, what's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka the Concerned Prepper. Maybe I should say that in my next video just to kind of make people laugh a little. Star, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. And no problem in keeping you guys updated. I knew this day was going to happen. I knew they were going to launch this operation. And I think this is just the beginning, guys. It's going to be more and more. This is just the beginning. This is the beginning stages of a massive war in the Middle East. It's just the beginning. So, don't burn yourself out yet on this, because it's going to be even bigger than this. I think this year, look, we're only 11 days into 2024, and look at all the craziness that has happened. Light Source Engraving says, excellent. I engraved them on my channel and Glocks and stuff. Okay, that sounds good. Yeah, so let's talk about that. I'd love to figure something out. Made a logo. Oh, wow, that's cool. Thank you, man. That's really kind of you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And you guys are so kind. I can't believe how all these things people are offering for me. It's incredible. Thank you, guys. It's really nice of you. Showering me with your love. I appreciate that. Earth Angel Anna says you could make a t-shirt that says "Get Concerned" on the front and 3Ps and NYPrepper on the back. That's a good one. I like that. That's a really good idea. I like that. Get Concerned. Yeah, I like that. I'm going to have to pay you some royalties for that idea. That's a good idea. Kingdom Daughter, thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate you so much, Greg. Ark is for the third temple. Come, Lord Jesus. Yeah, that's right. The third temple. I almost forgot. Oh, man. Thank you for reminding me about that. Yeah, that's for the third temple, the Ark of the Covenant. Great point. Am I planning to travel to hunt? I was planning on going to Alaska possibly this year. I was going to meet up with Alaskan Ballistics and do some caribou hunting. But he might have some obligations possibly, so I don't know yet. But I was also considering going to Africa or maybe going to Idaho for an elk hunt. But it might be too late to get a tag for Idaho now. All the best units are already sold out, and so Light Source Engraving says I sent you a message on Patreon. I'll use the form tomorrow. Okay, I'll check you out on Patreon then. I'll check you out on Patreon. Earth Angel Anna says I always wanted to go to Africa. Yeah, Africa is a beautiful country. Very wild, Yeah, Africa is amazing. It's like the last frontier in the world, Africa, Antarctica, the Amazon, and probably Siberia to a certain extent. Siberia is pretty industrialized, but it's so massive. There's a lot of areas in Siberia where just people never set foot. Let's see if there's any other updates here. I'm just going to check and see if we have any more updates coming in. We have breaking news coming in from Oman. Oman is not going to allow any military aircraft planning to fly to Yemen to use Omani airspace. So Oman is blocking their airspace from being used to fly to Yemen. I'm going to check up on the latest news on Ecuador. This is pretty interesting. Apparently, there were some massive protests in Slovakia demanding a resignation of the Slovakian prime minister. The new Slovakian prime minister happens to be very anti-Ukrainian and very pro-Putin. And so there's a whole bunch of people apparently protesting. I guess this was last night. They're protesting, demanding his resignation. That's pretty interesting. So, lots of things going on. I mean, we're only 11 days into 2024, and look at what we've had happen already. In just 11 days of this year, we've had this operation on Yemen. We had multiple massive strikes on Ukraine. Russia launched massive strikes on Ukraine. We have the situation in Ecuador. Ecuador is basically in a total state of lawlessness and martial law. What else? I'm sure I'm missing something. Let me show you guys here. We actually have an animation of the Arctic blast that's coming this weekend. Looks like mostly the Arctic blast is going to affect the upper Midwest and Montana. It looks like temperatures could drop to 70 degrees below average. 70 degrees below average, guys. That's insane. Can you imagine that? 70 degrees below average. It's insane. Let's see. Here's the latest Arctic blast forecast. You can see mostly the Dakotas and Montana are going to get hit the hardest. Iowa, Minnesota, the Midwestern states are really going to get hit the hardest by this Arctic blast. Is what it seems like. And it's going to moderate by mid to late next week is what it looks like. It's going to moderate a little bit. So, but the worst of it's going to be like this weekend into early next week. Trying to see if there's any updates on Ecuador. So these are the areas in Yemen that were targeted tonight. Let's see. So here you can see these cities here in Yemen were hit. Hodeidah, Zabid, Taiz, Damar, Sana'a, and Sadah. Okay, these areas here were all targeted, these big cities. There's a card for the media. That's pretty interesting. I didn't know that. That's really interesting. Texas wind chill -10 to -20 and lows Monday 7 degrees. Today almost 80. Wow. Yeah, see, that's why you got to be prepared because the weather can change so fast. Ashy 886 says Middle Indiana. I have a friend in Indiana. I went to Indiana last year for the NRA convention in Indianapolis. Smoky Mountain Bushcraft says go Triceratops hunting with Joe Rogan. Yeah, that would be crazy. Yeah. Um, Florida Catholic guy, what's going on? Fred Wiggins, what's going on, Fred Wiggins? Um, so that's a map showing where the main activity took place overnight in Yemen. Um, so this is the beginning stages of World War III, guys. The beginning stages of World War III. If you haven't seen my nuclear war survival videos, you should definitely check them out. You definitely want to have a fallout shelter because at any time there could be some kind of a nuclear strike on the U.S., a surprise nuclear strike. I personally believe that Russia is going to launch a surprise nuclear strike on America. So Russia is calling for an emergency session of the United Nations Security Council. Russia believes that the US and UK operation in Yemen is a violation of the UN Charter. Wow. But it's not a violation of the UN Charter for Russia to invade Ukraine and bomb the crap out of them with thousands of missiles or hundreds of missiles every single week. But that's okay. But what we did was really bad. Interesting. Um, Andy Noble says all pre-planned. Yeah, I think a lot of it is. I think a lot of it is pre-planned. I don't know if everything is pre-planned, but definitely a lot. When is Dark Winter coming back? Dark Winter should be coming back soon, sometime this month. I'm going to start filming some new episodes. Thanks for asking. Yeah, we're just a week after the holidays. Has it been a week or 2 weeks now? We're on the second week after the holidays already. Wow. Yeah, it's been 2 weeks. Time flies. Yeah, hopefully this month I'll have some episodes out. Thanks for asking. I appreciate it. Um, You just see what's going on with the earthquake situation. Um, it's just so much going on, guys. We have all kinds of news all over the world. North Korea, got to keep an eye on North Korea. We have that nuke sniffer going to Australia. It's just crazy. I mean, they wouldn't send a nuke sniffer to Australia unless they're expecting some kind of nuclear tests in that area. I think North Korea is going to conduct a nuclear test soon. I think they're going to do another nuclear test. It's just a matter of time. Let's just check some of the earthquakes here. Five 5.0 magnitude earthquake in Greece. Look at that. Right off the coast of, looks like Crete. Look at that. It's a pretty serious earthquake, 5.0. There were some earthquakes in Afghanistan also, 4.1, 6.4. This was that big 6.4 quake that everybody was blowing me up about this one. 6.4 in Afghanistan. 4.5 in Japan. Yeah, so I don't have any updates on Ecuador just yet, but I'm sure we'll get some more information tomorrow on Ecuador. It's just everybody's focusing on this situation right now, and nobody's focusing on Ecuador. This is a cool video of the Ecuador military saying a prayer to Jesus Christ. This was today, I guess, before going to action against the cartels that are trying to take them over. We have some soldiers here saying a prayer, taking a knee and saying a prayer. I think this is pretty cool. I think Ecuador is the leadership of Ecuador, that unlike a lot of those Latin American countries that are like basically run by the cartels, I think the president of Ecuador wants to clean up Ecuador and get rid of the cartels. I know that the Colombian president issued a statement yesterday about the situation in Ecuador, and he basically said that the reason why what's happening in Ecuador, the reason why it's happening is because Ecuador is too tough on the cartels. That's what he said, which is just insane. He said that the prohibition of drugs in Ecuador is what caused this situation, and basically he was saying that Ecuador should liberalize drugs more, the laws on drugs, and so that would kind of eliminate the black market supposedly. But yeah, I mean, we know Colombia is like, the cocaine headquarters of the world. the capital of the world.
¡Viva Cristo Rey! ¡Viva! ¡Viva Cristo Rey! ¡Viva! ¡Viva Cristo Rey! ¡Viva! ¡Viva María Santísima! ¡Viva! ¡Viva Cristo Rey! ¡Viva! ¡Viva Cristo Rey! ¡Viva! ¡Viva Cristo Rey! ¡Viva! ¡Viva María Santísima! ¡Viva! ¡Viva Cristo Rey! ¡Viva! ¡Viva!
So pretty interesting. Sabrina says, Greg, don't let ignorant people drain your energy. Keep being you. You are on top of breaking news before the rest, and we appreciate you. Thank you for all you do. No problem, Sabrina. Thank you for the kind words. I appreciate that. Michael says, thanks, Greg. Your channel is the only one I check diligently for updates. Unfortunately, I do not get real-time alerts from YouTube. There was an earthquake near a North Korean nuclear test site. I didn't even see that. Good night, Ingrid. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for staying up and hanging out, and for all your support. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. And I hope you sleep well and have a great day tomorrow. So yeah, it looks like World War III is starting, guys. This is the beginning of World War III right now. We have some breaking news coming in. Iran says that strikes on the Houthis are a violation of Yemen's sovereignty. Okay. Wow. So, pretty crazy. So Iran is saying that the operation was a violation of Yemen's sovereignty. And Russia's calling for an emergency meeting. Of the UN Security Council. A Houthi spokesman said that the targeting of the ships in the Red Sea will continue. Okay, targeting of ships in the Red Sea will continue. Okay. So that's pretty concerning. What else? Yeah, that is massive news, Ross. It's definitely massive news. So this is going to be a crazy year, guys. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you have notifications set up. I'm going to be doing a lot more streams like this when things break. I'm going to be doing a lot of streams like this year. So it's going to be a busy year for me. I do plan to upgrade my equipment so I can have some better quality streams when I do these kinds of streams. I just got to figure out how I want to do that. So let me just check some other stuff here. So the Houthis are going to continue their attacks. Okay, the Houthis are going to continue their attacks. That's what the leader of the Houthis said. Iran is saying that this was a violation of their sovereignty. Okay. We know that Iran has confiscated multiple ships already. They've confiscated as many as 5 ships. So this is just the beginning, guys. It's going to get more and more intense as time goes on, more and more intense. So just crazy situation. So I think I might actually wind down the live stream now and get some sleep. I've been streaming for 5 hours. And I got to get some rest so I can continue with the news tomorrow. I would stay the rest of the night if I could, but I have to do some things and get some rest. I enjoy hanging out with you guys very much. Any videos? Yeah, I can't share any videos on this channel, guys. Unfortunately, no videos of any kind of war footage or anything. I can't share it because it goes against, YouTube guidelines. So I can't do that, unfortunately. But I will be back tomorrow with more coverage, more updates. I don't know if I'll go live or not, but I'll definitely have at least videos. Earth Angel Anna says good night. Karen Williams says thank you, Greg. Mama of 6, thanks for all your support. I appreciate you. Kinkoi, thank you very much for all your support. Appreciate it. Light Source Engraving. Get some rest and do it all over again tomorrow. Yeah, I might go live again tomorrow. We'll see. If not, definitely over the weekend. Or unless something crazy happens, then I definitely go live. Sounds like our campaign didn't do much to the leader of the Houthis. Yeah, definitely. The leader's still alive. They just went after the facilities. The mods were awesome tonight. Thank you guys for hanging in for almost 5 hours. I think it's over 5 hours. Yeah, over 5 hours of streaming. 6 hours maybe almost. A lot of streaming. Haven't done a long stream like this in a while. So thank you, moderators, for hanging in there. And all you guys that donated, I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Thanks for all your support. SMC says an extender arrived in Australia. Wow, that's interesting. That's good to know. Thanks for telling me about that. Light Source says, well done, sir. Thank you, Light Source. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you, K. Paul, for moderating. You're the man. You've been an awesome moderator. Thank you so much, K. Paul. TW Perry. Danny Man says, thanks, Greg, for covering the unprecedented times we're living in. No problem, Danny Man. Bailey says, here for the news, tolerate the opinions. I don't believe in end times that people sometimes refer to here. Religion makes people crazy, not end times. That's your opinion, and I respect your opinion. We don't all have to agree on everything. I share my opinions. I share the news, but then I share my opinions as well. If you don't like my opinion, just, you can just let it go in one ear and out the other, That's part of why people watch me, is they want to hear my opinions. So they want the facts, but they also want to hear my opinions. If I just only gave the facts without opinions, it would be kind of boring, I think, because you could get that from anywhere. You can go on to like Headline News or something and get all the news ticker with all the headlines, but they want to hear the opinion too, right? Otherwise, it's just a little boring. Thank you, Patreon X. Thank you, Patreon X, for the donation. And Super Chick, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great night, Patreon X and Super Chick. So I think I'm going to wind it down, guys. I don't want to keep you up too late. Plus, I got to get some rest. So thank you guys for all your support. It was really fun hanging out with you guys and bringing you the news tonight. And looking forward to doing it again soon, maybe tomorrow. Miss Elise says, glad I found this channel. Needed a Christian community on here. Yeah, there's a lot of Christians here, that's for sure, on this channel. A lot of Christians. Mud and Munitions says, real person, real news. That's a good motto. I like that. Real person, real news. That's funny. Angela says it would be concerning if we didn't hear your opinion. Yeah, I guess that would be very concerning. That would be extremely concerning. So thank you guys so much. Tina Davey says, I prefer to get no BS news from you. Thank you, Tina. I appreciate that. So that's pretty much it, guys. Have a good night. I'll be back tomorrow with more updates, potentially going live also. So until then, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps. Prepare, practice, and persevere.